Aloha, mother fathers. Welcome in another episode of the Side Hustle Podcast on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram. Maybe. I don't think we have that yet.
We might.
I might do the Instagram.
I'm thinking, yeah, okay. All
I
right,
have more freedom now to do that, so I can.
You want to get into that?
Nope.
Okay.
Not really. Maybe in time. You know, I don't want to be one of those YouTubers that makes that video.
No,
Hey guys, it's time to sit down and talk to you about something serious.
No, don't do that.
Don't worry, we're talking about
When
AEW
you
today.
are
It's not
ready,
serious.
If you ever come around to that point, there is a couch right over there. There is a couch. Now, I am not your counselor. We're going to actually get somebody else to actually be the counselor and stuff. I was just commenting on your problems.
Can you just get Tony Khan to come to the studio so I can just beat the shit out of him? Because that would make me feel great. Honestly, that'd be fantastic. I think that's all the therapy I need.
We'll get a...
Oh, don't worry. We're talking about AEW today because I can't
we
escape this fucking promotion because of this guy. Every week there's a topic. Every week.
There is.
And this one is probably one of the dumbest ones we're going to do. Can't wait.
By the way, melting chocolate here today. Melting chocolate. At this moment of taping, I think it's 90-something degrees.
Is it really in here?
I think in here it is.
I'm comfy. Now. I'm comfy.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Jogged up the stairs, feeling good.
I crawled up the stairs. I actually felt... Pete and I were walking up the stairs. My legs actually felt heavy walking up the stairs. I don't know why.
Have you been doing any workout or anything like that? Or
I've been moving my mattress back and forth because I still don't have a carpet in my bedroom. It's been a week, by the way. They're going to get to it. I'm not going to slam anybody. There's been some behind-the-scenes stuff that's been going on. But the fact of the matter is, I slept wrong again last night, and I was frustrated, so I moved the mattress. I rearranged the living space again.
so you think the reason you slept funny, so you need to move your furniture?
I was just frustrated. I didn't like the
Son of a couch here.
I kind of did that today. I have a work from home job, but I didn't feel good working from home. I didn't like my work from home conditions. You know, when you log in, people don't know this. When you have a work from home job, you have to hold up. When you have a work from home job, you have to be comfortable or at least alert and be in the right frame of space when you work from home. It has to. It's not easy just sitting down, flipping open the laptop, and logging in. It's not easy. It's not that easy. But could be a lot worse. So
Yeah.
Could be way worse.
Yeah,
So
it could be a little worse.
could be that. If this doesn't work out, then we'll be doing the show live from Amazon, and it will be timed. And
That's right. Coming to Amazon Prime this fall, the Side Hustle Podcast.
yeah.
They bought the rights. Sorry, guys. I know we had a line.
Are we gonna get like the $2 billion pie that they're gonna pay the NBA?
My goal for this is to one day be on a level. Not so it's hard to be someone like Pat McAfee just because he talks about all sports.
Right.
We're kind of more niche in what we talk about.
Right.
And we've both had sports shows before and all that stuff, and it's kind of mundane. I like kind of having a topic-centric show that revolves around one thing because you can really dive into it more, as opposed to just being general stuff.
And everybody does it. Everybody does it. So it's hard to break through that way.
I think the goal would be to. I'm having a show meeting in the middle of our actual show here, but to one day be able to do this full time and to do an hour show a day and have it live streamed on YouTube and on TikTok and all that stuff and be able to do it every single day.
That's cool, but the main thesis of this show is that it's a side hustle. It's not meant to be.
Tell you what, when the side hustle
did you forget the name of the show?
When the side hustle becomes the main hustle, that's when you know it's real.
We're gonna rename the show when it really gets to that point.
The main hustle,
the full hustle,
the full hustle, not the side.
The full hustle television show. It won't even be a podcast. It'll be the full hustle television show. Side hustle, is we do it once a week.
See that? You hear that, guys?
And that's that.
Double A's gonna make me a star.
And then we hope to land big guests. We hope that we're able to do so. And we did land a big guest coming up. We're going to have it for you on...
Should we air it on Friday? I think that's kind of cool. It's a nice little end-of-week treat for everybody.
We'll do
Thursday
that.
is when, obviously, today is when you guys are seeing the actual main podcast drop. And then our special guest will be on Friday. So that's kind of cool.
So we can't wait. And we'll talk a little bit more about the guests. It involves a wedding. It involves Cody. And both of those are intertwined together. We'll talk about that a little bit.
And a 20-year-old getting married.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Tell you what. The Stones on that man.
Man. He getting married at 20 years old.
And he's a badass, too, at 20, which is awesome.
That's pretty cool.
I'm looking forward to talking
There's some questions I have as far as like how this will all be executed and stuff. And, but Kyle, great job on that. But because it's the Side Hustle podcast, we do hope and aspire to hopefully land big guests. Big guests, whether they're from WWE, AEW, the world of journalism, pop culture, no matter what, we hope to land big guests. And
we thought we were on the precipice of one of them.
And Kyle, to his credit, he alerted me. I'm not even going to go to the slide yet because I can't even tell you who it is. But you alerted me that a certain WWE up-and-coming star who's doing really well right now, just recently drafted, recently came from NXT, is now in the final of the Queen of the Ring tournament. This person, you told me, followed our TikTok.
I am so upset about this. Like, you have no idea. And the fact that I messaged this profile and they responded before Double A got back to me, and I was like, holy shit, this is great.
So Kyle informed me that this one right here, she's a star, by the way. She's really good. She's really good.
I'm so pissed. There's going to be a come to Jesus full circle moment when we actually get her on the show, and we're going to talk about this. Because, man, that's bullshit. Like, it is...
All right.
She's so good, too. I'm pissed.
Damn it. So, she, or the account, followed the Side Hustle.
Lyra Valkyria is who we're talking about, by the way, too.
Followed the TikTok. Great. Cool. You had great... Remind the audience what you said about her last week.
Oh, she's killing it. She's, with the exception of Tiffany Stratton, she's been the most over person to come out of NXT in a while. Mm-hmm. Bron's getting there. We'll talk about him a little bit later, too, because he's doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, he is.
But just the natural reaction to Lyra, the fan reaction, everything to her. And then we post, obviously, we take clips from the show. We throw it on the TikTok. That's kind of what it's there for. To give you little, snippets and encourage you to come watch the full thing. Or listen to the full thing, however you embrace our content. That's great. But... she followed it, and she liked her own TikTok. She liked the video of her. And then I messaged her saying, hey, I followed her account too because I found it. It has 43,000 subscribers, which that's how much she has on her Twitter and stuff too. It's around those 40. So I'm thinking, okay, this is legit. Her tag is @RealValkyria.
Yep.
So it's like, oh, okay. And I messaged her saying, hey, love your work. Really appreciate you obviously following the show. Would love to have you on sometime to talk about your rise and your journey, and would just please let me know if we could ever work something out. And she responds, and I'm going to read this because I didn't tell you the message that she sent me, right? So the actual message I got back was, nice meeting you, fan, .. Thanks for supporting my dream and career, .. May God Almighty continue to bless you always.
Oh my God!
Where are you chatting from?
Hey, so she followed my personal account.
And then she followed Double A.
She followed, so Sunday night, 11 o'clock, she follows my personal account.
She's not on the fucking Twitter
now,
or on the TikTok at 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday.
I'm thinking, you know what? It's kind of like the old, you don't text anybody this late, or, when you're talking to a girl, when you're younger, wait till the next day. Don't respond right away. You look desperate. Don't do that. from your personal account. Company or show account is different. Show account, if you respond right away, that's different. That's a show account. That's something that's expected. Personal account, you wait. I see the alert at 11:20 p.m. Nice meeting you, fan.
No.
Thanks for supporting my dream and career.
No.
May God Almighty continue to bless you always. Where are you chatting from? ?
I'm calling Neve from Catfish. This is bullshit. You got to be kidding me. Oh my god.
I'm like, this is odd, but I'll respond. I kind of.
What did you
my
say?
Antenna is,
What did he say?
My antenna was going off, but you know what?
You had a conversation.
I gave 2 answers. So my first response.
Social security number.
No. I said, hey, I'm from Cleveland. We occasionally get nice things here. And that was my first response. I'm from Dublin, Ireland, 27 years old, but currently in the United States. That part is true.
Man, that Wikipedia page is burning up, isn't it?
Man, that part is true.
Jesus Christ.
That's where she's from. You look it up. How old is she? She is 27.
I'm so depressed right now. This is absolute garbage.
She then follows up. I was just having a random check on my page and came across your profile.
Oh, yeah, you're... Listen, man, I told you, you're a star, but you're not that special.
Very special. You watch your mouth there.
I take that back. Yeah, you are very special.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
She asked that?
She did.
Oh, God.
She did.
Well, she.
And then, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? And how long have you been a fan of mine? And I didn't respond after that.
You know, so...
And
I know
mind you, this account...
I'm being very naive here, but
this account... And I texted you, I'm like, hey, sorry, buddy.
40, what, 2, 3?
45.5 thousand followers.
That's more than her actual Twitter.
On TikTok.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to her Instagram and Twitter...
She puts it in the description. I don't have a TikTok.
So she's very well aware that somebody is running. Somebody hacked her account, either hacked her account
or made
an account.
Yeah,
and they're treating it as a real one. And 45,000 fans are following this account. Vicaria WWE. We almost had our first WWE superstar on this show.
I thought maybe it was going to happen like closer to SummerSlam because obviously it's in Cleveland, right? But damn, I was upset, man. Like you brought me down hard. I don't know. You went back and forth too. That's funny. But that's your credit card information was next, by the way. The next question they were going to ask. But that's.
I could pay for your appearance.
We should actually message her on like X or Instagram. And be like, hey, we're actually a podcast located in Cleveland. We got a little bit of a following going. We got followed by that account.
We'll clip this segment.
Yeah, we could send it to her. And then we can, be like, hey, do you want to like come on the show and like talk about this at all? Because that's not fair for you. You're getting kind of put out there for like, this is not you, right? I mean,
she really said, or this account, really nice meeting you, fan. Thanks for supporting my dream.
Was it like dash? I hate my life. This whole show is going to be me just like upset and eating shit. Like that's what this entire show is going to be. God.
You for a real behind the scenes reason, me just because I'm grumpy.
But well, no, but like I actually, besides the fact that she is like stupid attractive, like this is like she's actually like really good.
And besides all that, she beat Io Sky.
Yeah.
Like she had a legitimate, like she's gonna be in the final. She's gonna be on this pay-per-view.
She's got a chance to win it because it could be some screwy shit going on the other side. So you never know. But I mean, I don't.
So lesson learned, kids. Lesson learned.
Stay off social media unless you're watching our podcast.
Unless you're watching our podcast or following LPV Productions, stay off of social media.
Nice plug. Pete's like, yeah.
And stay away from this guy.
Holy shit.
Stay away from this fucking guy right here. This guy right here. This.
I still hate his theme music, by the way. I just want to point that out.
They don't play it on Hulu.
His NXT theme was fucking great.
Uh-huh.
It was a little bit slower. It was deliberate. I feel like they're trying to speed it up to like make it be, oh, it's more like him because he's fast and he runs around the ring really fast. No, like he doesn't.
Let's address the storyline point of this first.
I know. It's the first thing you see when he comes out,
right,
so I just
you're
bring
right.
it up.
I agree. And the one benefit I have for watching Raw on Hulu, they don't play his theme music. They just cut right to the match.
And then it's over.
And it's over. That was it.
They have their own Goldberg, even as a tattoo.
Man, yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point. All right, so first thing, you see Adam Pearce there in the background because he is
shook.
He is shook. Matter of fact, if you want to talk like quality of management in WWE, Nick Aldis is on point. He has everything under control, at least for the most part.
I don't know. Cody kind of made him his bitch last week. He told him, "I got this. Get out of the ring." He said it's super.
He did it in a respectful.
I still think Cody's actually a heel.
He
Like
really
at the very bottom of his
really
core,
is.
like he's actually an asshole.
Yeah, he is.
He's like he's so like, oh yeah, please, I will
Everything
relieve
he
you
does
of
is
what you.
condescending.
Yeah,
Everything.
He looks like a fucking Bond villain.
Man.
But one day he's gonna flip, and
He
people are gonna
will.
lose their mind, and it's gonna be great. Well, like a long time from now, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm not gonna say. I'm kidding. We got enough time for that.
He's the real. No, he's not the real tribal chief.
Adam Pearce, from a storyline standpoint, has absolutely no control over his television program.
Like at all.
At all. Like
At
nothing.
all.
Nothing. Like Rey Mysterio, the deadbeat dad of WWE, Rey Mysterio, is, he's searching because somebody beat up LWO again and everything, and everybody, that's, you want to talk about fraud. That Rey Mysterio's a fraud. Anywho.
Man, you were on it. Anything else on your mind?
Man, this guy right here, Bron Breakker. The story makes
Just
look
the camera angle. He's just like,
this single shot right here. Look at Pierce.
I fucking
He
died.
like
I'm
a
sorry.
substitute teacher who has no control of his class. Like, what are you doing?
He's looking
man?
at this is a 5th grade sub looking at the kid who's failed and get held back 3 times and is like 3 times the size of everybody in the class
man.
and just picks on whoever he wants.
Man.
Oh my god.
Man. That's
a-
Aaron.
Holy shit.
Storyline wise, the world finally makes sense again. Bron Breakker, his sole motivation, he wants real competition. He debuted like he's obviously better than anyone on NXT. He did his little run on SmackDown. He's ready for real competition.
And who does Adam Pearce give him? Licky McButthole.
Get some dude named Dixon. And that young man,
What's Clarence Dixon? Was that his name?
woo! That young man got a 2-piece and walked out of there with a 6-piece. 6 pieces of his body. Dissected. You missed out on your frog dissection class back in 7th grade. Bron Breakker took care of that for you. I love it, though. Like, in that corner, he's just like, you knocked me out of the King of the Ring. Like, you didn't even put me in the King of the Ring. And it's just, his inner ink just gets worked up.
It's good because it gives him something to do for a while because they don't really want to. You can't feed him to Priest or any of those guys yet just because they have other plans for that.
Right.
So what do you do with Braun in the meantime? You also don't want to have him just jump on Sami Zayn right now, which I imagine an IC title will be in his future.
Well,
but I mean,
they put him in an ideal first feud. Ricochet.
yeah.
That is a perfect first feud.
And Ilya. They have history.
Yeah, that is a perfect first feud because Ricochet ain't got nowhere else to go. So
Hey, he's a speed champ. Relax.
Ricochet ain't got nowhere else to go. So
That's like one of the most, and we, again, for all of the slack we get for not like being fair and critiquing WWE, one of the most mismanaged superstars, even in the Triple H era. is Ricochet. I mean, I don't think he ever had an NXT title match. I don't think he did.
I don't think
He had a couple big feuds down there, but he had North American title, but he never had the actual championship or a run at it at least. He's never been, I think he's had a couple world title matches off of subsequents. Like he was facing Brock Lesnar one time or some bullshit, and we all knew it was going to happen. Like a serious run for a dude that can literally do anything.
You are aware of who essentially killed his upward potential, right? It's our favorite guy, Drew McIntyre, years ago. Do you recall? I might have to play the clip for you after the show. This is years ago. I think this is pre-pandemic, actually. Go back that far. Years ago, they're in the ring. I think this was Raw. They're in the ring. I forgot what the feud was, but McIntyre, Ricochet, and others were in the ring. And Ricochet says something along the lines of, "Why are we in this? I didn't come here to talk." He meant, and then his follow-up line, he meant to say, "I came here to fight." Well, as soon as Ricochet said, "I didn't come here to talk," McIntyre out of the blue, "Well, shut up." Well, then shut up. And
you think that killed his career?
I think as far as the upward, because Ricochet really can't. He has not proven that he can cut an elite level promo.
Fire. Like there's no. Some people just can't get fired up, and I get some people's personalities are more relaxed and chill when they get fired up. It's not much, but he has to find a purpose and a reason to get there. Maybe this can help. I don't know.
This will help because he'll have responsibility.
Anywho, he's gonna get his ass kicked.
He will.
It'll be a fun match because he'll get some offense.
And I said this to you. I stand by it. This guy right here, no, not Pierce, Bron Breakker. I predict he will main event WrestleMania Saturday next year. I am getting 2002 Brock Lesnar vibes with Bron Breakker. With this run, except this will be handled way more responsibly.
So he can go in the ring, cut a promo too, and do all that stuff. Again, I think they just need. The only thing that I don't like is the entrance. I mean, they tweak it a little bit. I like the zoom in after he does the break thing. That's great. He has it built in. He really embraced it, the breaker side of things, which is cool. But man, that music just gets me every time because I remember it was NXT
Right.
when I saw him a few times down there, and I was like, this is one of the best fucking theme songs. And then he had the thing with Baron Corbin where they teamed together for a little bit, and then now this piped up. It sounds like Ultimate Warrior. I hate it.
I know.
It's not.
I can't appropriately critique his new theme. When the bell rings.
Oh, I want to see him actually, because the problem is, people are going to pigeonhole him now a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he just comes out and Goldberg's people and just spears people.
But this is why Ricochet is perfect, because Ricochet does have enough respect where he will get moves in.
He's going to have a match.
It's not going to be Yeah, Bron is not working 3-minute only matches and calling it a day. He's going to... The whole premise of his character right now, which is what I love, he wants real competition. He wants to prove that he could be at top of the line superstar type of guy. That's really his purpose.
Yeah.
But until Adam Pearce gives him that opportunity, he's going to keep beating people up backstage.
Yeah.
And speaking of backstage, to jumpstart that Ricochet feud, just out of the blue, when he spears you, you hear the wind below. You hear it. It's almost to the point where, man, I don't know if I want to see anybody else in WWE do a spear other than Bron Breakker.
Well,
and I know that's a shot to Jey Uso.
No,
but
that's a shot to Roman if you think about it.
He ain't here right now. Roman ain't here right now. So I'm talking about people who are here right now.
God,
I know other people will actually do it, but man, when Bron Breakker hits, so my prediction. This guy's going to main event WrestleMania Saturday.
I could see it. For the world title?
For the world title.
You think it's going to be that's going to be whatever he's doing is going to be more hot than possibly finally getting that Seth Punk feud. Because Cody's going to be in the main event of night 2, probably against The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately.
I think so, and they might do Seth Punk before Mania. They might be, because you think
well, also
Mania's a few weeks later.
Yeah.
So
But when's Seth going to be back, too? That's the thing, because he got the knee surgery. He's re-signed. He's good. He can take his time.
Question.
I mean, he might not be back until beyond SummerSlam, getting closer to Survivor Series.
That's a good question, too. And we got to think, too, will CM Punk at any point
get hurt again?
Will he get hurt again?
I hope not.
And will CM Punk actually touch the world title at any point when he comes back?
I think
within the next year.
Well, so Priest will have a little run, but I imagine at some point McIntyre's going to get that title back. And that's where obviously Punk can either he'll cost them in Glasgow and they can have their feud because Punk's going to get cleared by the middle of June, or McIntyre will win it. They'll do a thing, and then they'll feud. It'll be the summer of Punk all over again, but it's going to be against Drew now.
And remember, too, and I forgot to add this part, and this part's actually important. I'm going to actually say, I don't know if I'll lock it in. I'll say Bron Breakker, if he's on this continuous run, his path to getting that world title match, he's going to win the Royal Rumble next year.
That seems a lot more feasible to me as the way to get there. The thing with that is, like, if I'm Braun, I'm going for Cody. I'm not going for whoever the world heavyweight champ is. He can, but I mean, like, if he really wants to be Brock Lesnar, like that level, that debut, that year, that rookie year, so to speak, I mean, you go for the biggest fish, right?
But does it?
Unless Paul Heyman gets in his ear and tells him.
There's also
many fucking
There's
leads.
also the Paul Heyman factor.
Yeah.
There's very much a Paul Heyman factor behind the scenes. If you think back to 2002, you think back to when Brock Lesnar was initially introduced on television, there weren't just squash matches at first. It was ref stoppages. It was Brock is not going for the win. Brock is gonna try to kill you. And until somebody steps in and stops this. And when somebody steps in and stops this, you need more people than that. So you have that. Braun, in a way, though, and we got to keep a close eye on this, too. All of this is business, right? I want higher competent. Why did you not put me in King of the Ring? Like, his issue right now is with management.
Yeah.
So if he is seen as a businessman, then maybe if he wants to face Cody, maybe you put in a storyline, just a little mini storyline. Hey, the final boss had a little talk with Braun.
Yeah, money talks.
Just ways to get around it. But
that's where they pays him to. No, you face Drew McIntyre, Punk, whoever it is. I'll take Cody. Yeah, whatever.
I like that. So, speaking of which, so this was actually taken at the Royal Rumble.
After it or before it? I'm going to assume after.
I assume after, based on some scratches, some stuff here. Oh, Pete, I forgot to ask if you have that video that we sent earlier. Don't worry about it. So, it was from earlier in the week. I kind of forgot about it too, but it was earlier. So Cody was out busted open on Sirius XM, and he had mentioned that going into the Royal Rumble, he was told that day that there was a strong possibility that the main event was going to be The Rock versus Roman Reigns, and that Cody was going to get the W and was going to win the Rumble, but he had to operate that whole day like, wait a minute. I waited for this for 2 years basically now. You know, I was supposed to win last year, beat Roman last year. I was supposed to, and that was documented that he was supposed to win. Vince and Triple H booked him to win Mania 39. And then Roman and Paul Heyman said, "Hey, let's keep the title for another year, and then maybe Cody could win next year." And then to find out the Royal Rumble, Rock is going to take your place. But you're going to win the Rumble. We'll give you Seth Rollins for the other championship. That had to be really tough on Cody's side of things. My question, and we talked about this when we started this show months ago, was it always in the plan for Rock and Roman to have that match at Mania this past year, or did the fans of Cody Rhodes, to that whole "We Want Cody" movement, and the execution of Cody didn't necessarily, when he gave up his spot on SmackDown to The Rock, he didn't necessarily look like he enjoyed giving up his spot.
Because he didn't.
Didn't.
I mean, yeah.
Did the fans change the WrestleMania main event this past year?
I think that the one thing that obviously Triple H gets a lot of credit for is being able to adjust, but not to throw all the story out. Like when Vince would make adjustments, it would be very last minute, and it would be like, we're not telling a story, we're just flipping. That's why people hated the booking, and they hated watching WWE for a long time. Now, you can kind of get a sense, and it wasn't just the crowd, the live crowd. It was social media. It took over X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, everything. I think it's a little bit of everything that played into it, and then when you have that much groundswell of support for somebody, kudos on the leadership for WWE to jump on that and be like, you know what? Okay, we probably should. I mean, it's not like this guy came out of nowhere. He's been here. He's worked his ass off. He got to the point. He did win the Royal Rumble, so it does technically make sense for him to say, fuck you, Rock, it's my match.
Mm-hmm.
He can go back on that little talk they had. Okay, let's lean into this a little bit. And let's see if Cody can become an even bigger star now, because he's not just overtaking Roman, he's overtaking The Rock.
And think about this, too. And there was supposed to be a documentary about behind the scenes of WrestleMania 40, by the way. That was supposed to debut the Wednesday after Mania. That was going to be 12 minutes long.
Yeah, right.
It's now going to be at least an hour.
It's a full-length documentary now. Yeah.
And they have to put the final touches and stuff. Think about this before we move on. I don't know. At some point we'll get Rock versus Roman, but the next chapter, Cody proved himself so much that now The Rock wants to face Cody at next year's WrestleMania. And it almost seemed and we talked about it, of the four, of Rock, Roman, Cody, and Seth, it felt like going into this past year's WrestleMania that Roman was actually dead last as far as impact players.
Yeah.
It almost seemed like the feud going into this past year's WrestleMania was actually Rock versus Cody. And I think we're going to get that next year. So, I mean, look, kudos to Cody for at least, look, he proved his worth, and he did the job. He also talked in that interview, too, about it seemed like he had bad luck at every stretch going into WrestleMania. The incident with his bus, the few days before, his bus burned down.
Staying in Seth Rollins' tour bus, yeah.
They had to get another tour bus and everything. And then remember, too, go in WrestleMania Saturday this past year, hey, you got to eat the loss. All these things that if you're a dedicated Cody Rhodes fan, you had to go through. And I didn't think the fans could have that much power to turn something around. But it looked like they did.
Yeah. I give him credit. It was awesome to see.
It would have been nice to see Punk continue on. This is,
he's made the most of his time still.
He has.
I mean, at least he's made an impact.
He
which
has.
is good.
Everything that WWE has asked Punk to do, and then some, he has done.
Yeah, he looks like he's a real pain in the ass to have around, guys.
Man.
Imagine if you were actually adults.
Give me three guys who are, off the top of your head, three guys who are the biggest draws in professional wrestling today.
Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk.
AEW had two of those three guys.
One of them started the fucking company. Gone. Another one helped you get that. The biggest thrall of a wrestling show ever. Right in my basement of my mom's, and I was so excited. Yeah, fuck you. But, like, he was one of the reasons why you drew 80-some thousand people. Turnstile counts not included. But nevertheless, like, yeah, you had him.
You
once had
me.
The fuck?
You once had me. We'll talk about it shortly.
Okay.
You wanted to talk about Bailey and
Kudos on you for throwing this in last minute. That's awesome, man. I told him this like an hour before the show, and he threw in a very flattering picture of Bailey, so I appreciate that.
no complaints.
Nope, not at all.
No complaints.
Yep.
What a shot.
I'm gonna need a minute.
All right, Bailey. Bailey wants to start a new Evolution 2.0 here.
Well, she wants to do another pay-per-view, an all-women's pay-per-view. The first Evolution got some flack from some people. Obviously ran in the Vince era. You know, this is a different...
It had good intentions.
Yeah, but it kind of was...
But it seemed last minute. It was done in a house show environment.
Yeah.
And it was actually a showcase to put over Ronda Rousey more than anything else.
It was, unfortunately. I think it was her and Nikki Bella at that point.
Yes.
Yeah, was the main event.
Yes.
There's some things that have changed since then. They have more than enough of a women's roster to do this. And honestly, what I would do too is, though it's a women's pay-per-view or a premium live event, whatever you want to call it, I'd have cut-ins with like, oh, we're having an NXT Women's Championship and it's Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, and oops, here's CM Punk in the back talking up the girls or whatever it is. I mean, like, you can still sprinkle in some of that huge star power we literally just talked about.
Yeah.
To elevate them even more, because I mean, there's enough solid women in WWE that they can definitely have their own show. It doesn't need to be like, you know, we need to do this every year, but I mean, like, it can be a special attraction you do once every couple of years, whatever it is, and make it mean something.
Well, remember, this past year's Royal Rumble, I believe, was the first Rumble to not really feature any previous, like, WWE legends.
No, there was maybe not even a handful, if that.
Yeah.
Because they drew some girls from NXT. They brought in Jordan Grace from TNA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's enough girls on the roster that are killing it. So I mean, you don't really have to worry about tapping the old well anymore. You've built up this women's division enough where you've got 20, 25 girls that can go out there, and there's probably about 5 to 10 of them that we could say, oh, I could see her winning.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's a good problem to have when you have that much talent, because you're able to sift through and give everyone stories and make everything mean something. And I mean, it's awesome to see. And I think she's one of the leaders, obviously, when it comes to that, when it comes to bringing this into the next wave and being able to do this to where we talked about Mount Rushmore with the women's side too.
Yeah.
She's, I don't think, on either one of our Mount Rushmores.
Yeah.
I mean, this is stuff that gets you, obviously, winning the Royal Rumble, winning the championship again, being a 6-7 time champion, whatever she is, but doing stuff that I told you, one of the biggest things for me, it's when people watch you, do they get inspired? Do they want to do what you do? So when you are in your 30s, 40s, whatever it is, and these new girls are coming up, they're saying, I watched Bailey. You know, I watched Bailey when I was growing up, and that's who I wanted to be. I watched Lita growing up. I watched, you know, whoever it was, Alundra Blaze, whatever it was, that kind of stuff.
I think history's going to be on the side of Bailey.
Oh, God.
When
like,
it's
this is
all said and done.
She will go down as, I think she will be a Mount Rushmore. It's going to be very difficult. The men's side is obviously very difficult, too. But, like, kudos to her for making it a tough conversation, because everyone's like, oh, it has to be Lita and Trish, and then it's open for debate. It's like, those two, as impactful as they were, they might get fucking pushed off based on some of these girls we got going on. Like,
yeah, we'll see.
It's nuts. Like,
since we're talking about Bailey, let's start including her in these pay-per-view posters here, these billboards. I understand she's not in the Queen of the Ring premium live event.
She's the champion,
but she's the champion. She's one of the reasons why people watched WrestleMania this past year.
Yeah, she had her evolution story. I mean, come on.
Yeah, let's get Bailey. Let's get Bailey in that in some of these posters here. It's time. It's time.
You heard the man.
You know,
I'm trying to cater to our female audience because I feel like we don't do that enough. And it could seem like two guys just talking about sports and swearing and all that stuff, but like we care like a lot about women's wrestling too. So to have the platform to do this again and hopefully do it right and do it well, which we know they're capable of doing. I mean, it's going to be one of the clips I'm sure that's going to be on TikTok this week, and it's going to be on YouTube and everything as well. Like we're pushing for this, and we're behind Bailey when it comes to it. So,
and hopefully one day we'll be able to talk to the real Bailey. Sorry.
Oh, fuck you. We had such good momentum. You had to bring that shit up. I can only imagine what we're going to talk about next. Do I have to bring out the sunglasses? Okay, not yet. Cool. That's
Not
great.
yet. We're getting there.
Fuck.
2 pay-per-views this weekend for each company. Real quick out of there's a game that I was thinking about doing. We're not going to do it because I couldn't think of it. I couldn't think. I didn't have enough time. Honestly, I didn't have enough time today to really put it together.
He tells me about this game like the day before the show. He's like, we're going to do this. I'm like, all right.
In order for me to for us to execute this game, one of us has to know the storylines. That's the problem.
I know him.
I
don't know how. I mean, I watched the show, but like I do. Like for some reason, I just get it. I don't know. But
anything that stands out to you for this pay-per-view on Saturday? Saturday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The one thing I'll mention about this, the tournaments have been built up really, really well. Cody and Logan Paul had an outstanding contract signing last Friday.
talking about the stepping up, yeah, you called it.
Outstanding.
And Liv did a good job too for me on Monday. She just more prominent role.
She did a great job.
She really
I
did.
Thought she did a great all throughout the show. I thought she was great.
Getting out of the same car as the Judgment Day, all that stuff, right? Yeah.
I had to. Oh, I didn't tell you this. So I pop in Raw like a day late because I get the Hulu version, and then I read the results afterwards. I had to, when they was doing the intros, I had to rewind a couple times because it wasn't the same shot. It wasn't the same shot. So Damage Control, they're walking, and you got to pay attention to the time too. So I think what was it, Damage Control? They were walking into the arena at what, 2:13, and Liv is getting out of the car. They go to another shot of somebody else, and then they go to Jey Uso walking into the arena at 2:16. And Finn Balor's just on his phone, just walking from the same direction.
Same car.
Cinema, baby! Cinema! That is cinema!
Pete's like, fuck my mic.
Oh, man.
You never know when he's going to do shit like that. You just have no idea.
I'm sorry, man. That
Tiny
is
man, but so much voice. It's
cinema! Because it wasn't the same shot back to back. It was one shot.
I know what you're talking about, because it was one guy that one person showing up at like 5 o'clock. You're like, oh, and then the next person is at a minute past when the other one was.
Yeah.
And then you see Finn get out of the car and walk back. They're basically breeding a kick Damian Priest out of the Judgment Day, bring in Liv Morgan. Finn's the new leader. Finn challenges Damian for the title, probably, I'd imagine, relatively soon.
That could.
That turns, obviously, Damian Priest babyface. He's already hinted at doing that with some of his moves lately. I mean, he's gotten over with the fans. I think they really enjoy him now too, so he can self-support himself at this point. I mean, what I'm looking forward to the most for this though is the advancement of that storyline too.
Okay.
Along with obviously seeing who wins King and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah.
I think we have a very likely scenario where it's going to be Bloodline for the King of the Ring. This is a great way to get Jay back involved. It's also a great way to get Jimmy back too if he's not hurt, which I think there's been like some reports that he's injured.
I heard a little bit.
It could be bullshit. I don't know. I mean, there's no official statement from WWE saying he's actually hurt.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, this is a way to obviously get those two back together. As far as storyline goes, it kind of breeds getting the wheels turning to Roman's return probably at SummerSlam too, which is going to be great to see.
Yeah.
I think this is also a great chance for, if they're smart, which we found out, I guess Bianca's not pregnant, so that's good because she's still wrestling constantly.
I saw a couple kicks to the stomach.
Yeah, I think they wanted to kick that in the kick that notion out of the way.
Yeah.
Maybe Montez found out he's a father from a previous marriage. I don't know, but like Teddy, he is. I mean, he's got 2 already. Dude, whatever. It's his life, man. Live it, brother. Do what you got to do. But Lyra needs to win this as a building block. Nia Jax and Bianca Belair don't need this. I think this could be a huge jump for her because I think the eventual, if Liv obviously wins, which I think she probably will, her match with Becky at this event.
You have Liv winning Saturday?
Yeah, I think
do too,
with help from Dom, I think she'll win it.
I do too, actually.
I think the next logical opponent, if it's not Becky right away, is Lyra. So let's make it matter. Let's make her the queen of the ring, so she has a real reason besides just Becky. Like, she's on top of the world. You know what? I deserve a title shot. I just went through half the Raw roster and the top wrestler on SmackDown to get through to win this. And it also gives legitimacy to the Queen of the Ring to have her be in a title feud, either going into Clash at the Castle, which is in Ireland.
It is.
Where Lyra is actually from.
Yep.
Despite what that fake profile said, it's technically true. Check the Wikipedia. But
they got that part right.
It makes a lot of sense to have that.
27.
I don't know. Those are the three things for me I'm
fan,
watching.
Right?
Shut up.
I'm a fan too.
Shut your mouth.
She says, "Shut your mouth and enjoy the ride." she is that.
That's what I'm looking forward to, though. Those are the three things. The Cody Logan thing, I know what's going to happen, so I'm not too concerned about it.
It's a showcase. It's a showcase.
They protected Logan. Cody is now looks like an idiot for bringing up the U.S. title because it's not going to be on the line, which is unfortunate. But
now, I loved the curveball there. Loved it.
You called that, by the way.
Called it.
You did say it was going to happen. I told you I only agreed to this.
Yeah.
You literally played it out great. So kudos to you, man, on that. That's awesome.
All right, let's move here because we got a ton of stuff here again. We got something planned coming up here.
What's next?
I
don't give a fuck about that.
All right, next slide. Those are the matches.
Look at this shit show.
Those are the matches. All right, I have a running theory about AEW. I have a running theory, and it actually involves this man. Because this man this is Dave Meltzer, by the way. And Kyle's going to read something here shortly, but I have a theory.
I don't want to.
So, last week, and as our duty, we watch these shows. And I put on Dynamite. And I approached Dynamite how I used to approach watching Maury Povich. What you do is you turn your brain off and you just watch. The story lasts for one episode or a solid 10 minutes. It's the match. They wrestle. There's a winner. There's a loser. You enjoy your time, and then you move on with your day. That's AEW. That is AEW. So when I turned my brain off and didn't ask about what's the story of
why should I care
this match? Why should I care? Why should I whatever? And I just turned my brain off and watched. I enjoyed it. It's what this man, Dave Meltzer, believes in a promotion, which is basically an independent show. When you go to an independent show, for the most part, you don't know the stories. And it's up to the independent show. The good ones will tell you the story. And the good independent promotions, even local ones here, Exodus Pro Wrestling, they're one of those.
Mega Championship Wrestling.
Mega Championship Wrestling. They will tell you the story. You will know the story beforehand. The matches will abide by the story. And then if you come back, hey, this is what happened last month. Or if I missed last month, here's what happened 2 months ago. And it all ties in. AEW is different. AEW, there's no connection between Dynamite and Rampage. Rampage to Collision. Nothing.
There's no connection between the people that are actually working. Tony Storm flip-flops between face and heel every week because we don't think there should be faces or heels. That's why you have in the Young Bucks' backyard in California coming out for their show and their West Coast swing, a 10,000-seat arena, you only dress 2,000 seats for it, and you've only sold 1,500 tickets. Keep doing that shit for the live shows, for all 1,500 of your fans. You're a failure. You're an actual failure of a fucking promotion. Plain and simple. Get out of those fucking buildings. They don't deserve it. And why? You're wasting your money. Tony, you're wasting your money. And if you're going to keep catering to smaller and smaller audiences and keep calling this a win, when Dynamite just had the lowest rating it's had since 2021, literally eat a dick. Like, please.
And here's the other observation. This
Fucking
is the
embarrassing.
other reason why the ratings are. And this man's like, I don't understand how the ratings are going down. It's the NBA playoffs and the Stanley. Okay, the NBA playoffs just started this year.
He'll get a little bump. They'll get a little bump when the playoffs are done.
I didn't know that the NBA playoffs became a thing. I didn't know the NBA was created in 2024. I didn't know that the Stanley, that people play on ice and hockey, and the Stanley Cup playoffs started in 2024. I didn't know. I thought that was just. I didn't know that wrestling shows didn't go up against the playoffs for the last 30, 40 years of whatever. The Young Buck, the people who are leading the television show,
the top story is the Young Bucks.
They're losers.
Yeah.
I'm not even I'm not even joking in the standpoint of like they deserve like bigger props and stuff. Like, I feel bad for them. Like, no, they have no redeeming qualities. It's X-Pac in his worst day leading your television. When you pick the wrong people to lead your television, and you turn your brain off, you watch the wrestling, at least enjoy the wrestling. But then you have Tony Schiavone and the announcers talking about, oh, well, I wonder what the Young Bucks have to say, and wonder, what Jack Perry, doing it. Losers. And they have no redeeming qualities.
I told you this before, and it's part of our Let's Fix It AEW, which of course is on the YouTube. Go check it out after you're done watching this. But it's his promotion. I don't think he's... You know what? I don't know anymore. People have been like, oh, he's not getting paid by AEW. I don't fucking know what Tony's doing. Tony's a loose cannon. Honestly. He may like Dave so much he is paying him for an advisory role. I don't know what it is. And I don't think anyone really knows for sure, so you can't just say, oh, he's obviously not paying him. We don't fucking know. But nevertheless, Dave sees this as an opportunity. He's never fully been in on WWE. Never been fully
It's not his style.
Well, no, he's never been fully in as far as like being truly integrated to and respected in WWE.
Because it's not. You're right. Because it's not his style of wrestling.
It never was. He's infatuated with Japan. That's Dave's thing. When you see the top 10 wrestlers for men and women, there's always 3 or 4 Japanese people you've never heard of on there because Dave Meltzer happened to see him. Like it's.
I think
it's not a winning formula to make money and be productive. If Tony Khan's only mission is to be a fanboy and to have a promotion he can play with, he can have it for as long as he has money, which is a long time. Will they actually draw and be real competition? No, they're not. You're not. This is not fucking Coke and Pepsi. This is not any of that. WWE is Coke, and you're fucking crack. Plain and simple.
We've kind of avoided this, Dave Meltzer, for months now, but it's
I haven't.
But in terms of the show, of covering it on the show,
yeah, you make me fucking do it today. But that's
I think it needs to be studied. His influence needs to be studied, and the best way to really study his influence is by having Kyle read to you all the 5-star matches that Dave Meltzer has awarded All Elite Wrestling.
I'm literally sick.
So I pulled the list.
Pete, do you have any Tylenol in the studio somewhere? I left mine at home. Fuck.
I pulled the list. Company history, AEW's been around 5. It's the anniversary. So on behalf of 5 years of All Elite Wrestling, we will read to you, until Kyle's head explodes, the 5-star matches that this company has delivered according to Dave Meltzer.
Oh, I really don't want to do this. Okay. Well, I have to open it again because I closed it. I thought they were going to be like rating as far as like, the top matches too, but this is just like literally every match. The first match on the list, now this is from 2019 all the way till now. Cody versus Dustin Rhodes, Double or Nothing, 5 stars. That was probably one of the best matches I think we've seen. That's fine. when everyone kind of consensus agrees, like, hey, that was a really fucking good match.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right, keep going.
It gets worse. The next match, already just. You can't tell me this match is better than Cody and Dustin. I'm sorry. Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks, 5.25 stars. Already, I want to kill myself. I don't.
Hold up. Pete, do you know who the Lucha Brothers are? Do you know who the Lucha Brothers are?
They literally, like, I don't know if you noticed this when you were reading through this, but like 3 or 4 of the matches are different iterations of the Lucha Brothers versus the Bucks. Did you notice that?
I did.
I'll continue. Kenny Omega and Hangman Page versus the Bucks. AEW Revolution, 6 stars.
6 stars.
Remember the original star rating system that was created by Jim Cornette and a buddy of his a while back? 4 stars, because it went off like the movie ratings. 4-star was dropped down, holy shit, best match we've ever seen. 3 stars, damn good match. 2 stars, it was all right. 1 star, 0 stars, that fucking sucked.
But 5 stars is everything.
This came out of nowhere. This was Dave's taking the star rating.
Story. So, Kyle, do you remember, without even reading the description,
I didn't.
You remember the story of that match?
No.
Okay.
Best Friends versus Santana Ortiz, 5 stars. The best fucking friends. You read this. Don't look at me like that. You fucking did this. You did this. Sorry, Saka. Young Bucks versus FTR. AEW Full Gear. 5.25 stars. Again, I love Eric Bischoff's point, and I think lately I've been getting on this too. What actually makes FTR the best tag team in the world? The fact that they chose a secondary promotion to work in just to get star ratings? Because they have a bunch of 5-star ratings from Dave that makes them the best?
Oh, and Dax.
They're not fucking drawing anybody.
Oh, and Dax. I hate to tell you this, buddy, because I did want to buy your shirt. Storytelling kind of matters. If you want to mock what's the story? You kind of need to put more butts in seats. That's what storytelling is for.
There goes that mic again. I thought I was going to yell. No, I'm just numb right now. Kenny Omega versus Rey Fenix. AEW New Year's Smash Night 1, 5 stars. Because any match Kenny has automatically gets 5 stars.
And Rey Fenix is a superstar.
No, he's not.
Everybody knows him.
The Young Bucks versus the Death Triangle. AEW Dynamite, 5 stars. Love it when TV shows that get 600,000 viewers are getting 5-star ratings in front of 2,000 people. Fantastic.
What a maneuver.
What a maneuver. Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers. There they are again. All out. AEW. 5.75 stars. When I tell you Dave has literally lost his fucking mind, I'm not kidding. Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega. AEW Grand Slam. This is Bryan's debut match, I believe. 5 stars. Okay. Like, it's hard with Bryan because he, for all the bullshit and with flack we get him as far as doing this and going this promotion, he actually is really talented.
And he does deliver.
And Kenny is obviously on his babyface trope now of trying to throw AEW under the bus and Tony Khan under the bus, so he's well on his way, but still. The Super Click versus Jurassic Express and Christian Cage. 5 stars. The Super Click, in case you're wondering, was the Young Bucks and Adam Cole. Jurassic Express was Jungle Boy Jack Perry, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage. Okay. Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page. AEW Full Gear. I think this is early on in AEW's run. 5.5 stars. Hangman Adam Page versus Bryan Danielson. AEW Winter is coming. 5 stars. Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara. AEW Beach Break. 5 stars. Cody Rhodes making multiple appearances on this list has to just irk Dave now. He's going to be like, man, I never should have gave him 5 stars. He fucking left my promotion. He left my baby.
He was kind enough to give the Mania 40 main event 5 stars.
Chris Jericho, Daniel Garcia, Jake Hager, Angelo Parker, and Matt Menard versus Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. AEW Double or Nothing, 5 stars. There's 10 people, so naturally there's half a star per person. The Young Bucks versus Penta and Ray Phoenix, a.k.a.
Best Comic Core
the
match
fucking
I've ever
Lucha
watched.
Brothers. For the 3rd time on this list. AEW Rampage, the show that gets 200,000 viewers per fucking week. 5 stars. And less people there. There's like 500 people in the fucking crowd.
Yeah, that show will be on Tubi next season.
Will Ospreay and Aussie Open versus Penta, Pac, and Ray Phoenix. It's a Lucha Brothers plus the Dirty Bastard. 5 stars. That's what he fucking called himself. Death Triangle, the same 3, versus Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. 5 stars. I'll tell you what, the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks are just made to fucking they must get Dave so fucking hard. I'll tell you what.
Lucha
He has got to be at full mast when these guys.
You know Triple H is really missing out.
God, I'm sure he's just shaking in his retired wrestling boots right now. Holy shit. Adam, by the way, the one name not on this list so far is MJF, which is bullshit. I know he gets on the list at some point, but funny. The only guy that actually fucking drew for you. Adam Page versus Jon Moxley, AEW Revolution, 5 stars. This was, I believe, there was barbed wire involved, and it was a bunch of bullshit. Hey, look, the first MJF sighting. MJF versus Bryan Danielson, actually a very good fucking match at AEW Revolution. 5.75 stars. It's a 5-star match, Dave. Stop making it like these quarters, you fucking idiot. El Hijo del Vikingo versus Kenny Omega, AEW Dynamite, 5 stars. The son of the Viking was the guy's name, and he is nowhere near Icelandic, Norwegian. He's from fucking Mexico. Next fucking slide. Adam Page, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks versus Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta. There's a guy named Wheeler Yuta on this list. 5 fucking stars. I'm not even close to being done. That's the part that annoys the shit out of me. Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, AEW Dynamite. This is their TV show. 6 stars.
All right, we can stop. Okay.
I'm fucking committed. We're here. Okay. FTR versus Bullet Club Gold, AEW Collision, 5.25 stars. Bullshit. Bryan Danielson versus Ricky Starks, AEW All Out, 5 stars. Dave is just sucking off Bryan left and right so he stays in the promotion that's fucking tanking. Kenosuke Takeshita versus Kenny Omega, AEW All Out, 5 stars. Oh, the next fucking Japanese star nobody knows. Great. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. I actually like Zack Sabre Jr. I saw him, guess where? WWE, because no one fucking cares about any of his other work. Wrestle Dream. AEW Wrestle Dream. 5.5 stars for 2 guys that weigh a combined 300 pounds. Fantastic. Swerve Strickland versus Adam Page. AEW Full Gear. 5 stars. Kenosuke Takeshita, I'll say his name correct this time, versus Will Ospreay. AEW Revolution. 5.75 stars. This is unbelievable. Was that the show you were at, right?
No.
No, you weren't at Revolution.
No.
Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher.
AEW, 5 stars. Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. AEW Dynasty. This is the craziest one. This is the one you were at, right?
This was the one I was at.
6.5 stars. Dave almost had an aneurysm in his pants when this match happened. He literally almost had to die because he came so much. It's insane. And that was the last one.
So, according to Dave Meltzer,
every match in AEW is a 5-star match.
All of those matches.
I'm sweating because that's how upset I am right now.
All of those matches was better than Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. All of them. All of those matches were better than any Kurt Angle match in WWE. All of those matches you don't need a story. That's the thing.
No, you don't need a story to have a great individual match. You know what doesn't sell? Individual matches. Have fun with your gates at your once, twice a month, or once every 2 months pay-per-views. I mean,
let's take it at face value.
In a dying fucking industry, too, because the pay-per-view game is just falling off completely.
Let's take it at face value. I think Kyle's just read about 25-star matches in the 5-year history of AEW.
It was that many. I lost track, and I'm fucking bored.
however many he just read.
God.
So why are the ratings down? Why are the ratings at its absolute lowest? They have more 5-star matches. Kyle just read way more 5-star matches in AEW's 5-year history
than
than in WWE.
Over the last 25 years.
Yeah.
Take AEW's last 5 over because no one gives a fuck about your stars, Dave, except the people that are wrestling in the promotion that you only want to talk about.
So, at the end of the day, that list that he just read, that Kyle just read from this man, from Dave Meltzer, proves that this guy's a fraud.
No, and
it proves they should stop listening to him.
I won't call him a fraud because you're entitled to your opinion. The problem is you want to interject your opinion on everybody else. And you don't claim tribalism and all that stuff, and then he still reports negatively about WWE constantly and only positive things about AEW. Some would say, well, someone's going to talk nice about AEW. Everyone's upset with AEW right now. It's because they fucking suck. When WWE was bad, you looked for an alternative. When AEW is bad, all the fucking, 37-year-old neckbeard in their mom's basement fucking, look, can make fun of my promotion. I made it. Look, it's mine. I need it. You can't make fun of it. You can't make fun of me. Fuck you.
And it was so much goodwill because the first match that you read, Cody and Dustin, deserved the whole brotherhood storyline, the start of a promotion, this grassroots effort. That made sense. That's a match that I could recall back. 5 stars means I can recall back. I know we got to wrap here pretty quickly here. A 5-star match is a type of matchup we can look back and reference the storyline. We can reference the match. We can reference what happened after the match, the cinema of it. Cody and Dustin, that is a 5-star match. Brotherhood, grassroots effort. I need my brother at the end of the match. That makes sense.
There's only 3 or 4 matches in that cluster that actually, to me, would be a 5-star match. That's it.
So
tell me who do you think needs to step up this week before we get out of here?
Camelo Hayes.
Really?
Yeah. And it was because LA Knight put that whooping out of inside and outside the ring. So, when LA Knight says, now go somewhere and play. I don't have time for you because the Camelo Hayes, you need to prove to me why you are him. I understand you did your thing in NXT, your first round draft pick,
but you've lost 2 matches so far on the main roster. So
you gotta ooze it out here. So Camelo Hayes is
mine is Lyra Valkyria. She has a huge opportunity this weekend, obviously in Saudi Arabia, to win this Queen of the Ring, and then obviously the subsequent Raw after. Even if she doesn't win, she needs to step up and be interjected into that Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch triangle to kind of take herself already to the next level. She's already there. She's over. Now she's got to try and stay in that scene, stay in that arena, because it's very easy to fall out of it if you don't really go at it. So, and I'm not just saying that because I'm butthurt about not actually talking to her, but nevertheless, Lyra needs to get it done. So,
check out this interview tomorrow. We'll have this interview for you coming up tomorrow. This is pretty cool. Cody's going to be a best man for this young man.
He's on that guy's entire life. What are you talking about?
Incredible. So check that out. We'll have it for you dropped tomorrow on social media. That will do it. We'll see you guys again next week. And we'll recap the pay-per-views and any other in the 6 5-star matches that will take place at Double or Nothing.
I'm going to set the camera on fire if we have to do that again. Don't make me do it again.
Good night, everybody.
You sorry son of a... Good night.